Words can be really tricky when you're trying to describe certain conditions and circumstances in our life. So I don't want us to get hung up or get stuck with just one word because there's so many words that can describe anxiety, addiction, depression. There's just a spectrum. And what I've noticed in working with women that there is a spectrum of emotions that can cause someone to get stuck, to identify with the events that happen in their life and never really see themselves as a child of God, never really see themselves as victorious or whole or beautiful or smart. And so I just want to talk a little bit today about addiction. And it shows up in so many different ways. And I've had many discussion groups of women addicted to many things over the years. So allow me to kind of give you some observations that I've noticed about addictions, emotions, and the spectrum of depression and anxiety. First of all, I love learning about sign language, and that is the word, that is how you say addiction. In other words, you've been hooked. And so, whether someone has used alcohol or drugs or shopping or gambling or sex, uh, as their soothing and coping mechanism, and they get hooked on it. People get hooked on coffee. People can get hooked on gossip. People can get hooked on relationships one after another, never learning to know how to be with themselves and to feel whole without validation or drama or abuse from someone else. And so, what I've come to understand is that as I deal with so many women dealing with depression and anxiety because they're lonely or they're going through a divorce or they've gone through some abuse or financial challenges or dysfunctional family patterns, I've come to realize that people can get addicted to having the blues, being sad all the time. And no matter what you tell them, no matter what options you give them, they have gotten hooked on feeling a low vibration. And what I know in studying about the brain is that when you are constantly wired to feel sad, something chemically, energetically, vibrationally happens in the brain. And that person becomes hooked on feeling sad, feeling like a victim, feeling hopeless, feeling like nobody cares. And that's a dangerous place to be. And so, as I interact with women and I'm helping them and supporting them to get off the train of thought of feeling like a victim and feeling hopeless and feeling comfortable wearing the blues, it's a challenge, and I get it. It doesn't happen overnight. I've worked with women in drug and alcohol recovery, and it is a battle to get that hook out of their mouths because the brain has been changed to crave the particular soothing habit: drugs, alcohol, sex, shopping, gambling, and even feeling down, feeling bad. And so, as I was talking with someone today, I said, you're on the wrong train. A train cannot go in two different directions at the same time. And I know that sometimes it can sound like you're scolding someone or judging them, but you're not. What you're doing is helping them to understand that you have gotten used to feeling sad. Your brain has tricked you into a loop where you constantly go back over the same story, the same story, the same story, the same story. It's like putting on a record that you know all the lyrics. You know how that is. If I hear some Al Green, some Gladys Knight, The Temptations, Frankie Beverly and Mays, I know every single lyric because I've played it so many times. It's the same thing with your mind. You can get into a mental and emotional loop. And no matter what other options, what other records you could play, you keep playing the same one. And so I offer my services as a talk therapy practitioner to women who want to stop playing the same sad song. And I know it takes a lot of effort. I have found that when someone wants to break that stronghold, They want to break that habit. And this is habit in sign language, that you're chained and bound to doing the same thing over and over again. This is habit in sign language. And so to break that habit and create a new habit is tough, because it is a stronghold. You've been doing it for so many years that a person begins to identify with their trauma. They identify with the hurt, the incident, the circumstance, the event, and they cannot see themselves separated from that event. And so, in order for the stronghold to die, in order for the habit to die, you need three things for it to die. D-I-E. First of all, discipline. Discipline. Every day you've got to make up your mind that you're going to resist. Every day you got to make up your mind that you're going to go in another direction. Every day, the discipline to put the sugar down, the discipline to put the candy down, the discipline to put the fried fatty foods down, the discipline to put the alcohol, the cigarettes, the drugs down. Takes a lot. The discipline. The I in die is intention. When you really have the intention that that's what you want to be free. You want to be free of that habit. When your intention is so strong and it's married to your discipline, you can begin to see some victory and progress. But not only do you need discipline and a strong, strong intention that I'm going to be better, that I can do it, that I want a better life, it takes effort. It takes effort. You got to roll up your sleeves and you've got to make up your mind. You're going to do the work. You're going to make the effort. You're going to study. You're going to read. You're going to fast. You're going to show up at support groups. You're going to pray. You're going to make the effort to break old ties and break old habits. You're going to make an effort every day to do something towards making progress so that you can experience relief and results. It's only going to happen when the stronghold and the habit dies. And it dies as you learn to have discipline. No, thank you. I don't need another piece of cake. No, thank you. I can't drink that. No, thank you. I'm not going there. No, thank you. I'm not smoking that. No, thank you. I'm not thinking that. And then ask yourself, what is my intention? Is your intention to have peace? Is your intention to have a better quality of life? Is your intention to heal relationships? Is it your intention to start a business? Is it your intention to fulfill your purpose? What is your intention? Because once you know what the intention is, it will help with the discipline to put it down, to step away, to walk away, to not abide. And now that you know what your intention is, you've got to make the effort. You got to stay sober-minded. You got to be clearly thinking about my intention. You got to be clearly thinking about the discipline it's going to take to walk away, to step away, to not do it, to not eat it, to not smoke it, to not drink it, to not make that phone call, to not go the shopping, to put away the credit card. It's going to take an effort to put that cake down, the cookies down. No one's saying that it's going to be easy, but I know it's possible. And it's even more possible when you have support of others. It's even more possible when you're not shaming and blaming yourself or blaming other people. At the end of the day, it's up to you. At the end of the day, it's up to you to let that old habit, those shackles, those strongholds, they got to die. And they die from discipline, intention, and effort. There is no magic pill. There is no prescription I can give you other than the fact you've got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. You've got to be sick and tired of being overweight. You got to be sick and tired of being broke. You got to be sick and tired of going from relationship to relationship. You got to be sick and tired of medication. You got to be sick and tired of hiding and living with secrets. You've got to be sick and tired so that you can let it die with discipline, intention, and effort. I am Jewel Diamond Taylor, the Self-Esteem Doctor. God bless you and stay in the light.